Hello guys, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my final prediction video for Doctor Who Series 13 and Flux, and it's all quite concerning because I've put my Christmas decorations up before the 1st of December. It's quite clear to me that in the entire room I definitely have a Christmas video to do because only this section has Christmas stuff on and nothing else does. The rest of the room is completely empty. What I was actually going to say is that it's quite concerning that we are one part away from the end of Flux and the wrapping up of all of these plot threads, and yet more stuff is being introduced and there's a lot more things to be given time to, and we have an hour. I think somebody worked it out that for each plot thread, and I worked it out as a bit more, there is about seven plots, and in a 60-minute episode, so they get about 10 minutes each, which is quite concerning. It seems to be that most of the shots that were given as promo pictures this week have all been images from the early section of the episode because they're all in the settings where they left off. It's not unheard of to be going into a finale of Doctor Who and feeling like they don't have enough time to wrap it all up, and sometimes they always do. I've gone into a lot of murder mystery kind of shows thinking, oh dear, is this going to end because they've only got an hour left and there's an awful lot of stuff to wrap up. If you take even Ascension of the Cybermen and The Timeless Children, those two are vastly different episodes, and Timeless Children goes off in a completely different direction to Ascension does, for better or for worse, probably for worse to be honest. But if you want, you can go and have a look at the playlist that I will have linked, and that has all of the reviews so far, and on Sunday we'll have the final episode review. But until then, let's get on with these predictions. In last week's episode they talked briefly about how there might be like an army down there, probably referring to the Sontarans in modern times, but as something that was slipped into the conversation at one point, which I think might be interesting for next week, is the fact that Dan says that the tunnels are under excavation. I think that's the right word, where they're being sort of dug up and things are being moved around to see what they can find in like a tomb. It could lead to a time plot, perhaps, where, you know, the Doctor or the companions presumably survive and get back to the 21st century by some kind of freezing that leads them there to then being in 2021. And we know that the Sontaran's down there, and so maybe that is like the army, like the only army that is down there. But I don't get the impression that the Sontarans were there from the beginning, because the knocking, Joseph Williamson said that that was the first time it ever happened. And if that was the first time it ever happened, then the Sontarans weren't there all the time, unless they've just awoken, which isn't really their style, to be honest. I mean, what reason do they have to attack there? So we know that the Sontarans are down there, but I wonder whether something else might be down there. Joseph Williamson was able to get some kind of summon, I suppose, to build the tunnels in the first place. I wonder whether he was given this task by the Doctor in order to save the world, but he's not quite sure that he did it, because he seems to know that Yaz and Co are on the way, so he's been waiting for them, and his plan, or his task from the Doctor is to build these tunnels so that when the time is right, at the climax of episode 6, something could emerge. Perhaps the division. I wonder whether, now that the leader of the division has gone and the kind of structure of how it works is complicated, or what has been said to be complicated, what if the Doctor could take charge of them? Maybe the fugitive Doctor, in fact, and not our Doctor, but that Doctor could then take charge of them because she's the leader of the group in Once Upon a Time. So what if, with that group of soldiers, if not more, like a full army of species and stuff coming through these tunnels throughout time, as defenders of it, as they were set out to be, interfering and defending, maybe she could turn the division to something good and something with purpose, rather than the evil organisation that it's been made out to be. But we haven't actually seen much instances of it being evil beyond what it did to the Doctor, so perhaps it's corrupt, but maybe not evil. So I wonder whether they could make like a division redemption arc almost, and making them the heroes that save the day, because with all this epic scale, It's not going to be the Doctor flicking a switch that completes the story. It has to be something big. I know this isn't really a prediction, but I thought I'd mention it because I think it's cool and I don't think many people are talking about it, and that is the fact that we've seen the dates that episodes have aired within this series also be the real life dates within the story, if that makes sense. So the end of the world is on the 5th of December, the date that the episode comes out. The whole Flux thing started on a Hallows Eve or Halloween, and that was the date when the episode aired. The Village of Angel episode had people go missing on the date that episode airs, so I think there was a huge plan there. Maybe in a way to kind of link it to the real world, I guess, or it's a nice little nugget of information for us while we're watching the stories. Oh, I really didn't want to do this, but I'm going to have to. It's a theory that I didn't really want to talk about. I think I mentioned it, but I really don't like it, so that's why I didn't take it with any seriousness. And after last week, I kind of have to give it a bit more of a serious prediction. It's not what I like, but I think one that could possibly happen. I feel like it would be something Chibnall would do, and that is that Vinder and Bell are the Doctor's parents. And the baby monitor thing that she has, yeah, that's the Doctor. Okay, so I think I need to add some more explanation to this, to be honest, Daniel. I noticed this week that Tik Tok said to the Doctor that the other end of the wormhole that she emerged from was actually the beginnings of this new universe that they're building for some reason. I'm not quite sure how that works from a technical standpoint, but apparently it does. And now, when I think about this new universe, which seems kind of inevitable, I mean, the Flux has devastated most of it, so I think the only way that you can get round it from a writing point of view is a reset or a new universe, and they're kind of the same thing, to be honest. So I think that this new universe will have to be created in order for the universe to continue, right? And the people move across in passenger, as passengers, quite literally, to the new world, and everything will carry on just the same as it did before, and no one will know what they did apart from the people that were actually there. I suppose the people that were in that zone where they weren't quite affected. And I think that Bell and Vinder might be two of those people. I don't know why they would do it, but for whatever reason, they would sacrifice their child forward into the vault, into the wormhole. Or maybe the child will go there in the future and be stranded. Maybe they see themselves as like the defenders of this sort of wormhole where the new universe sprouted from. So maybe that's why they're there when the kid is older, or the kid is in there as a child and grows up in that wormhole and then sprouts out at the end of Gallifrey. Gallifrey was once something that we never saw in. It wasn't until the War Games that we saw Time Lords, and then it wasn't until the Deadly Assassin, I believe it was, that we saw Gallifrey. So I wonder that if they're trying to reset all of that and take it back to how it was by kind of adding this mystery. And that's the thing that I like about The Timeless Children. It's not, it's kind of one of the only things I like. And they've ruined any mystery to the Doctor's parentage and past, which is a bit of a shame. I know it's only been 2 theories this week, but they've held a lot of stuff to their chest and they haven't exposed anything, to be honest. There is not a lot here. I mean, each week there has been very little to go off. And a lot of the theories I've had have been based off watching the episode again and just writing down the individual things that people say and what that could mean. And for the most part, I've actually got quite a few, which really has surprised me because previous years I've done incredibly badly. But with this one, it really could go anywhere, and it's a little bit concerning because we don't have much time left. But I don't think there's anything else left to do but to cross your fingers that Bell and Vinder are not the Doctor's parents. And other than that, I suppose like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching once again, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.